I've been seeing a ton of buzz about a new upgrade for the ANYCUBIC Kobra 3v2 combo, and I finally got my hands on it because the community keeps asking if it lives up to the hype. The thing is, a lot of the videos I've watched are either super short or full of jargon, so I decided to break it down in plain English and tell you whether it's worth adding to your desktop 3D printing arsenal. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the most noticeable change is the intelligent auto-leveling system. If you've ever spent minutes manually adjusting the nozzle height, you'll appreciate how quickly the printer scans the build plate and makes micro-adjustments on the fly. That means less wasted filament and fewer failed prints, especially when you're switching between PLA, PETG, or flexible TPU. The high-speed silent motion system is another upgrade that really shows up when you're printing larger parts. The stepper motors run at a lower pitch, cutting down the whirring noise to a barely audible hum, perfect if you're in a shared office or a small apartment and don't want the printer to sound like a mini-factory. Now, let's talk about the multicolor hybrid printing capability. The original Kobra 3v2 combo was already decent for single-color prints, but this version adds a second extruder head that can blend two filaments in real time. I tried printing a decorative vase that transitioned from a deep navy at the base to a bright teal at the top. The color shift was smooth, and the model turned out exactly as it should, no need for post-processing or swapping filament mid-print. For anyone who makes prototypes that need visual cues, like a custom housing that shows airflow paths in different colors, this feature can shave hours off the workflow. Speed is often a double-edged sword in 3D printing. You want fast output but not at the cost of quality. The upgraded drive system claims up to 150 mm per second without sacrificing detail, and in my test runs that claim held up. I printed a set of hobby-driven gibboxes that required fine teeth and a sturdy interior. The parts came out clean, with crisp edges and no ghosting, even at the higher feed rates. If you're a maker who needs to crank out functional parts quickly, think replacement hinges or custom tool handles, the combination of speed and precision feels like a solid win. Another practical benefit is the user-friendly interface. The touchscreen has been refined to show real-time temperature graphs, layer previews, and even a quick access pause and change filament button. I used this when printing a prototype drone frame. Halfway through, I realized I needed a slightly stronger filament for the mounting points. With a single tap, the printer paused, retracted the filament, and let me load the new spool without having to dive into menus or reboot the machine. That kind of intuitive control can make a big difference for those who aren't comfortable tweaking G-code manually. If you're concerned about the size of the build volume, the large size designation isn't just marketing fluff. The printer can handle a 300 by 300 by 350 mm build envelope, which opens up possibilities for large-scale prototypes, tabletop gaming miniatures, or even custom household items like a coffee cup holder that fits your exact mug dimensions. In my own workshop, I printed a full-size keycap that would have been impossible on a standard 200 mm machine, and it fit perfectly into the keyboard without any trimming. Alright, let's be honest about the downsides. The main con I noticed is the price tag. Adding the dual extruder and auto-leveling hardware pushes the total cost higher than a typical entry-level FDM printer. If you're on a very tight budget, you might find the price a bit steep compared with buying two separate printers. Also, the extra hardware does add a couple of kilograms, so the unit is a bit heavier to move around. That said, the footprint on the desk stays the same, and the added weight actually helps with stability during high-speed prints, reducing vibrations that could affect surface finish. On the plus side, the reliability of the auto-leveling sensor has been impressive. I've run a full day of prints without needing to recalibrate. The silent motion system truly lives up to its name. Neighbors have stopped complaining about the constant buzz they used to hear from my old kit. And the multicolor printing works seamlessly, which is a nice bonus for anyone looking to add a bit of flair or functional color coding to their parts. Overall, if you already own an ANYCUBIC Kobra 3v2 combo and are looking to extend its capabilities without buying a brand new machine, this upgrade feels like a sensible step forward. It brings practical improvements that translate directly into less downtime, clearer results, and a smoother workflow for everyday makers and professionals alike. Thanks for sticking around, and if you're curious to see the exact specs or want to pick one up for yourself, the link is below.